Hello everybody, welcome back to Radical Improvements. So I did a couple of videos explaining my background story, my story in self-improvement, and I very much focused on dating, as a lot of my the best parts of my self-improvement journey up till now have been focused very much on getting that dating life that I always wanted, that I never really had, because I didn't lose my virginity till I was 22. I didn't really have the college experience that I really wanted to have. I didn't have the relationships I wanted to have when I was young. So a decent chunk of my mid-20s was spent, chasing that experience. And I wanted to round everything off by really giving you an idea of where I'm at now, like what I've been doing specifically over the past couple of years. Because it was around about 2 years ago that I decided I was essentially done with a lot of my dating and relationships improvement. Like I had done a lot of my getting good phase, like getting good at dating, getting good at pulling girls back, getting good at having sex with girls, getting good at turning that into relationships. I had traveled to several different areas and realized that I can basically do it anywhere. I went to America and dated there. I was in Australia, I dated there. I went back home to England, I did it there. Went to Mexico, where notoriously it's quite easy, but I did it there as well. I had proven what I needed to prove to myself, and what was next was to find meaning in something else, to look at other areas of my life and to really focus down on other things to improve on. So I'm going to talk about those now. Really, what are the main priorities that I'm working on at the moment? Number one of everything is money and business. I have several projects I've been working on and I started several years ago. In fact, the main one that I've made money over the last 3 years was a project I started in 2020. I partnered up with someone to start a YouTube channel, and due to that person owning a decent sized company, they were able to pay me a bit of money in order to run the channel for them. I did the filming for them, I edited the videos for them, and I'm happy to say that yesterday actually we crossed 9,000 subscribers on our channel. By current growth metrics, we should actually be able to get to 10K in September sometime. And if we start doing better than that in between now and September, we could get there earlier. So I'm really happy with how this is going. I've got big plans in terms of how to monetize the audience that we've built. It's a bit tricky in some regards because I'm not the on-screen talent. So it's a bottleneck in terms of the content itself and creating that content. I do everything except make the actual content because I don't have the expertise in the area that it's in. I also don't have, I'm not at the same level as the person who's making the videos, but they are focused entirely on that content creation, which is great. And I said this on another video somewhere, but I really recommend if you're going to do video, if you're going to do content creation, you want to build a YouTube channel, the earliest you can outsource some of the channel, like some of the work on the channel, is going to be the best thing to do. Because when you first start a channel, there is some use in being the guy that does everything, just so you have an understanding of how to do everything. But at some point, it just becomes diminishing returns to not be outsourcing things like the editing. If you can get a channel manager, that's going to really help you as well. So there's a lot to be said for partnering up with someone potentially, and then splitting between them and you. So I really thought that was an interesting journey, and it wasn't even fully my main focus. It was actually kind of a job I was doing at the beginning, but now it's like I'm looking at it more from a business perspective. The other thing I'm doing for money and business on my own is my style business that I had. I was doing style consulting, and I was doing that for since 2021 is when I first started doing that, or maybe it was 2020. I actually can't quite remember when I got my first client. I was doing one-on-one consulting for a while, and then I've switched over into making a video course, and I do higher end consultation now. I actually don't do a lot of consultation. My primary goal is to sell the video course. I realized a lot of the style consulting I was doing was pretty similar because I have a very narrow focus. Like my focus is on the style that will get guys results in dating, the style that will make them more attractive to women. And I realized a lot of that is replicable on many different guys as long as you just adjust a few things here and there. So I turned it into a video course, and much of my last couple of years has been like figuring out how to sell that video course. It actually determined quite a bit of content on the channel for the last year, although I've moved a little bit away from that focus now, and I'm focusing more actually on cold traffic ads. So that's one of the other things. The third revenue stream I have for business is working with Killer and a Loser, Andy. I am his co-coach in his coaching program. I've been working with him there for the last couple of years now, and yeah, I really find that work rewarding. I'm super grateful to Andy for letting me jump in. He was looking for someone to take some of the load off in terms of coaching. I also make content for him. I do a load of stuff behind the scenes. He really wanted to bring someone in, and we're forming kind of like a partnership rather than like as in like an employee boss relationship. That I was concerned basically that he wanted to bring me in like as an employee, but he's very much made it like this is our thing. We're going to do this as like a partnership. So yeah, I'm happy to say that's going really well. And that really sums up all the ways I'm trying to make money at the moment. I'm not looking at doing anything else. 3 things at once that are all growing quite quickly are, it's quite a lot actually to keep a handle on. And sometimes I find myself like dragged too much in one direction, not giving certain things enough attention. So I'm going to have to, focus down and figure out more my priority moving forward. Something I've been really happy to start focusing on now that I'm settled in an area. So I moved to Vancouver last year, and I've been here now for like 9 months, and I'm going to stay here for another 9 months potentially. I've been really happy that I've stayed somewhere so I can get into the gym and get super consistent. It was a video I did recently on the channel called The Focus of the Channel. I wanted to focus the channel more on like the holistic view of a guy's image, a guy's personal image, and a big part of that is physique. And I've never really taken it super seriously ever since I got into self-improvement about 4 years ago. Now I have. Now I've given it like a good year plus in terms of in the gym, grinding, being consistent. And I'm really happy to start actually seeing some results from that. So I want to keep going forward with that. The gym is a huge part of my weekly routine. So is my like diet, my calorie counting. It's a priority for me. It's not the highest priority. It's not above money in business, but it is probably number 2. Like my physique now, I'm finally taking it seriously. And connected to that, there's a bunch of looks maxing stuff that I'm doing. Like I'm doing some more tanning stuff. I'm going to try and get my teeth fixed. I'm going to get scalp micropigmentation this year as well to fill in the top bit, which is a little bit less dense than the side bit. So that's all something to look forward to, but I don't want to get ahead of that stuff too much because I want to make content on that. Like I want to do some more content on Milano Tan. I want to do some more content I will be doing content on SMP when I get that sorted. I've already had the appointment, put the deposit down, got that book to go ahead. So we'll talk more about that in the future when I've got stuff to show for it. I will talk about my dating life at the moment too, because I wanted to have that somewhere in my rank priorities. It's just not very high anymore. I'd say it's about 3 or 4, depending on what I'm doing that week, But with dating, I have a base level that I like to maintain, and most of it's done through online dating. I don't really have time to be going out approaching. I do throw out some approaches here and there, but mostly when I'm out on the bars with my mates and I happen to see a girl. I don't really do any day game, especially like sesh day game where you like say, I'm going to go out this hour, approach this many girls. No, it's more like I'm at a bar with friends, I see a girl, I make an approach. That's pretty much how I like to do it. But my baseline right now is seeing 2 girls. I'm ethically non-monogamous, so the girls know what's going on. I'm just seeing 2 girls at once, and I like to maintain that. As long as I'm happy with both girls, I won't be out looking for too many other girls, basically. And currently I have that. I've been seeing one girl for 8 months now, and the other girl for 3 months, I believe. And they've both been very reliable, pretty cool chicks. I'm attracted to both of them. I don't really need to be adding anything further to my life. The only thing I would really do necessarily is look to upgrade, I guess, if you're going to call it that, by basically looking to see if there's anything better out there for me. But typically I'd say I'm pretty maxed out in terms of what I want right now. The only discipline is like stopping myself from like thinking about the grass being greener or wanting to go and see too many other girls. Like, I'm not trying to stack like 6 dates in a week, for example. I just don't have the time. I don't have Monday to Thursday evenings anymore. I don't really have time to date any more than maybe like twice a week if I was going to go out on brand new dates. Plus I have to see the girls I'm already seeing. So it's one of those things where I've prioritized other things and I have my baseline set. So I don't really need to go out anymore and do it. The only times I'm really going to go hard again are when girls drop off. And right now, probably gone the longest stint without having a girl drop off. It's pretty crazy. I found like the 2 most reliable girls in Vancouver somehow. And they're both cool with me being non-monogamous. There may be issues later if I decide to... I'm toying with the idea of leaving Vancouver in February and I've told one of them. And if I tell the other one, like, yo, I'm definitely leaving the other side of February, this may become an issue that would cause a girl to drop off. But we don't know. I can't predict the future in that way. So it's all going good for now. Yeah, these girls are cool. It's going great for now. That's really my only update on the dating front. Have I got anything else I want to update? Genuinely should have written notes for this, shouldn't I? I guess for location wise, Vancouver's cool, but I'm not going to stay here like long term. I intend to move again. I think for the rest of my life, I'll be jumping a little bit. Like, I'm not fully nomadic. My ideal would be that I would have semi-permanent bases and jump between them. The absolute ideal is I have 3 homes in 3 different countries and I hop for 4 months at a time between them in the year. That would be ideal. I would love that. That's like my dream situation. They don't have to be like homes that I own. They just have to be kind of like permanent bases where I have residency. Caleb Jones suggested having a, what do you call it? A storage unit. So you don't have a house, but you have a storage unit and like a place you regularly rent or something like that. And you can do it that way if you want to do it cheaper than, actually owning 3 pieces of property. So that's one way I could do it. Then I'm just thinking ahead now. I've got to sort out residencies at some point. I'm kind of burning through the young people holiday visas that I use. So we'll have a look. I'm thinking I might head back to Australia soon as well, catch up with Andy, catch up with the people I left in Australia. I've got tons of travel plans, really. Like, I want to see a lot of the world still. I want to see more of South America. Actually, I haven't seen any of South America. Mexico's in Central, isn't it? I haven't seen any of South America. I want to. I haven't really seen any of Asia, and I want to. I've seen enough of Europe. I think I'd see some of Africa, but maybe like Northern Africa. Like, I want to go to Morocco and Tunisia. My friend got married to a girl in Morocco. I want to go out there. Damn, travel's a big one. I could sit here and talk for like 20 minutes on like all the places I want to go visit. So we've done business, done general self-improvement, done dating, done travel. That really sums up my life. I can't really think of too much else. That's all this man needs, money, health, girls, and the ability to move freely around the world. That's the way I live these days. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.